Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? So Stephen here from Vanguard Tactics and bringing you another lockdown live. So if you are interested in Warhammer 40k, then you're in the right place, because today we're going to be I'm going to be answering your questions on all things competitive play. So welcome back if you have been watching any of the lockdown live series before, and welcome to Vanguard Tactics if you are completely new. So I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry I am 6 minutes late to the party. I was basically just finishing off the Space Wolves army list. So I've created the army list and it is now available to be downloaded. And what I'm going to do is there's actually already a link below. Okay, so the link is below. It's in the description. It says Space Wolves list. You just click that, sign up, and I will email that straight over to you. So make sure you do use a proper email, otherwise you're not going to get it. So yeah, do. And then basically, don't worry, I'm not going to spam you. I don't send your emails out to anybody else. It's just so that I can keep you informed of, what's going on here at Vanguard Tactics, other stuff you might be interested in. And sometimes I want to get back in just some sort of top tips that you can then start to implement. So if you're interested in taking your game to the next level, then it's completely free and it's just some free advice and help. And then obviously, if you ever get any questions, you can just email me back straight away, and maybe I can answer that question directly, or then put your question forward to the podcast or another live like this. The community is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, guys, welcome to the chat, and welcome to everyone who is live at the moment. So hope you guys are all doing well. So we'll jump in now, and obviously how this works is if you've got a question, then just please post it in the group or in the chat, and I'll get back to you. I'll also go through any questions that we've had over the last couple of days that weren't asked during the live, but they were asked on repeat. So what I'll do is I'll sort of pick those up, gather them together, and I'll go through those today. So we'll see what people have asked. I have no idea yet. I'll go through the comments shortly and sort of answer you directly as well. So then if you can't make these lives, which are going to be at 6 o'clock British summertime every single day while this lockdown is going on, then yeah. Right. Okay, cool. So here we go. Jumping into the live. Dorath, hi there, how you doing? Wooden Spoon Wargaming, how you doing once again? Good to see you back. Brian, he lies. Where are the lists on the blog? See, I did half lied, okay? It's a half lie because half the job's done, okay? Stevie half a job is what they call me. So I've done the Space Wolves, and also I'm probably going to put together a little cheat sheet at some point next week for the Space Wolves. So if you're on the email list, then you'll get access to that when that's done as well. Just send that out. Ian James, how you doing? Connor, how you doing? Good to see you. Jacob, Michael, Dark Ale, Halo, any advice on measuring tools, tape measuring templates? So yeah, I mean, really, there's 3 measuring devices that I use. One of them, obviously, your standard tape measure. The second device I use is a little 2 inch by 1 inch little bit of little tool. And basically that helps me when I'm in combat, because I can then ensure that I'm making my unit coherency, and then also making sure that I'm either within an inch or over an inch away when I'm trying to get my wraps off and things like that. So I'm actually designing some Vanguard Tactics version 1s at the moment, so I'll be bringing those out. And then I also use a 9-inch measure as well for things like deep strike. So that's also another little tool that I use in the games just to speed up my play. And then obviously a chess clock is probably the other tool that I use, measures time rather than distance, but still pretty good. Okay, how we doing? So at the risk of sounding stir crazy, do you see any benefit from playtesting a new competitive list against oneself? Absolutely. The more time you can get on the table, whether it's theory hammering, going through deployments, like myself, Jack, and Joe on last week's episode of the podcast, which I would definitely recommend you check out. It was a really, really good podcast. And basically, we spoke about some things that you can do with your list. So we gave you loads and loads of tasks to do with your army, which just involve you, because we're aware of the situation of the YouTube. There's no video on the YouTube. It's just a holding screen, but you're there listening to the audio, more so than anything else. So yeah, check that out. And it's definitely a really, really good practice deployment, movement, all that kind of good stuff as well. So what else have we got here in the chat? Loads of questions keep coming in, so please do that. How are we doing? Greetings from Arizona. James finally caught it live. Really enjoying these. Great channel. Thank you very much, James. Really appreciate that. Just became a VT membership member today, mate. That is absolutely quality. Toby, that's fantastic and great. And I'll obviously be speaking to you in the program as well. We've just announced today I've completely overhauled I've been working really tirelessly on the Vanguard Tactics Mentorship Program. So I've spoke about it before, where you essentially get a new module of lessons, and in that module is like 4 to 8 lessons, and the lessons like 20 to 40 minutes long. It's very game theory based. You sit there, take notes like you're back in school. So I've got diagrams, suggestions, top tips, all that stuff on the webinar that you can access, and you can literally get that from your phone. But I've also just done a huge overhaul of now daily lessons on top of that. So every single day in our community, we've got some incredible things going on. On a Monday, we do list of the week, where it's all about helping you know what your enemy does. So we pick a list, we show you what it does, how it works, and essentially all the threats. And then we get you to do some tasks to make sure that you're coming up with the right ideas and how to counter that list. We then also get a pick your secondaries game, where it's all about helping you decide and develop a game-winning strategy. And that's a really, really fantastic game. We give you a scenario, a table to look at, the mission that you're going to be playing. So that's really good, especially if you're involved in either ITC. And I might even evolve that to ETC, where we're looking at, Maelstrom cards and choosing your deck and stuff. And that's going to be the next way I take this. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to adjust the sunlight. Just move that sun a little bit. Okay. As it's blinding me. On a Wednesday, we're going to have a training night, live debates, training room, where I can actually physically coach people on how they're playing. So that's going to be really, really good. And obviously that's going to be virtual. So that's going to be fantastic no matter where you are in the world, whatever time zone, there's going to be opportunity. Thursday's Quiz the Coach, where I sit down and I literally review your list. Okay, so when I review your list, it's the only time I ever do it. I get so many emails saying, Steve, could you look at my list? Can you look at my list? But I really can't get back to absolutely everybody. But I do in the mentorship group. Okay, so that's that place where I go through those, answer obviously any questions on game theory, on some of the lessons on the mentorship course. On a Friday is our hobby night, so we give you some top tips and challenges so we can get your models on the table much faster, but also looking good in an army you can be proud of. Saturday is called our list lab, where on the list laboratory we're going to give you a challenge. So it's like, okay, so you might have to take a unit in your codex. You've never list challenges where we can come up with ideas to beat the meta. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. And then on a Sunday is get stuff done Sunday, where we keep you accountable. You pledge what you're going to achieve, whether it's hobby, lesson based, workshops you're going to do, whatever it might be. We're going to keep you accountable. So that's what I've kind of been working on. We've also now built a Discord chat as well. So yeah, that's been my day today really in this lockdown, but I feel like I've been extremely productive today, really cracking on. So yeah, all good stuff really. So the mentorship program is $40 a month. And if you click the link below, there's a 2-week trial. So, but I'm sure the trial really is for you get access to module 1. And it's just to show you the quality of the lessons. Okay, the lessons are like no other product out there. I'm in the corner, we got the lesson slides up, and they're very, very detailed, so it really gives you a good idea of what you're doing. and a really good way to learn. Obviously, I used to be a teacher. That was what my background was in. And, you know, obviously I've studied how to teach people. So I've applied those methods in the course. So yeah, on to each trial, suss it out, introduce yourself to the group, see if you like it. And that way, you know, you really feel part of the team and part of the community. And there is only 200 spots. And 20 spots have gone in the last week. So yeah, the course is certainly filling up very, very quickly. So Andy Dunn has said, know your enemy is a great way to flirt with other army projects. Oh, isn't it just? Especially the list lab when you know, no, like when we're talking about, oh, how cool this list is, and incredible, I think, and it'll really inspire people to go, actually, I've never thought about doing an army that just kills by doing mortal wounds. That could be really interesting, or whatever it might be. Or, you know, every model in your army has to have a minimum of 3 wounds. You know, something crazy, bit out there, bit different. So yeah, that's where we're going to do that on the list lab on a Saturday. So where we get those creative juices going. So yeah, unfortunately, it might mean you're probably buying some new armies just for the fun of it. So anyway, it's all part and parcel of it anyway. So that's all. Hey, we love the hobby, right? So that's all good. Yo, Steve, do you prefer Elias Isodon Raptors build or Phobos Captain with more snipers and Raven Guard? I mean, they don't need to be mutually exclusive. I think what you're asking for there, or what you're asking me there is, you know, is it better to stay pure Raven Guard or go for Raptors? And I think, you know, the -1 to hit is nice when you're in cover, but just being able to like get a cover save is pretty good anyway. And then being able to get the long range marksman is really nice, or reroll a wound is also great. So I think that's nice if you were to go for like a custom chapter or Raptors. But Elias Isodon is basically a free drop pod, so why would you not take advantage of that? I think he's a fantastic character, really cool. You can do some fantastic conversions there. So yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan, and he's very competitive as well. So you know, it depends what floats your boat, really. Pure Raven Guard are good. I don't know too much about the Phobos Captain with that sniper rifle relic. I think there's better relics. I really do. I think there are. Anyway, so it's like with the Space Wolves list that I've just put out. You'll notice that the relics that I've used are very, you know, when I'm looking for a relic or I'm looking for a warlord trait, I'm looking for a consistent approach, okay? Or I'm looking for something that's going to, you know, change the game state or change the dynamic in the game. You know, a sniper rifle that can fire indirectly that does 2 or 3 damage is not going to change the game state. But for example, the Space Wolf one where, you know, I can choose a unit to fight last, that's brilliant. You know, that really changes things. And it consistently happens all the time. I'm not relying on a hit and a wound roll and those sorts of things to actually be effective. So yeah, I think certainly you're looking for a more consistent approach with your relics and warlord traits. They want to buff the army. Okay. Hi, when does this on Saturday start? It's going to be, Richard, if you can tell me what, in regards to what you're referring to, is it the mentorship or is it these lives? Because I'm going live every single day at 6, or you can basically jump on the mentorship program. You can jump on it right now. You can download the app. You can, you know, look at that stuff on the website. There is an app called, basically download an app called Kajabi, and then you can get the entire course on your phone. You can't really see this very well. Oh, actually you can. And then here's all the lessons like this. So you've got all the different modules. So let's say you've got game management, where I talk about game tempo. You've got mastering the phases of the game there. Yeah, mastering your faction, you know, analyzing your opponent's list. Let's have a little look at that. Once you've clicked that, it brings up the video then, and then you've got basically the overview of the lesson. So that's kind of how the mentorship program, you can start that right away. You don't need to wait for Saturday or anything. Okay, cool. What other questions have we got? Steve, hey Steve, great information throughout your website, YouTube channel, and I'm just starting my first 40k army, mostly mono Deathwatch. Good man. Thoughts on vets versus primaris as your core troops, maybe 3 of each. 3 of each is a good way to go, or 6 of vets. veterans for me are the money makers. They really put the hurt on. So yeah, really, really like those 3 units of big 10-man units of veterans, Stormbolt with storm shields, box of just the 10 strike squads, and you get all the like left arm Stormbolters and literally push those on. Fantastic. And, you know, and to be honest, the Grey Knight body doesn't look much different. You could probably get, if I was doing Deathwatch on a budget, if I couldn't do the actual Deathwatch models, what I'd probably order is get 10 Strike Marines, okay, then get order the Deathwatch shoulder pads, okay, because the Deathwatch upgrade sprue comes with a shoulder pad. It comes with a sergeant's head, okay. Then what you're looking for is just regular Space Marine heads. You can put those on, and obviously you might have those in a you know, get it from wherever. There's so many kicking about. You've probably got a bits box or whatever. So just regular Space Marine heads. And then you need, so that's your Storm Bolter. You then need a Storm Shield. So I think some of the Forge World do some Storm Shields. You could probably use some of them. So you could, you know, maybe order a box of units with all the Storm Shields or whatever. That's quite good. Or a box of Vanguard Veterans all have Storm Shields also. So there's some different options that you could go for. Or alternatively, get the Strikes and the Veterans, and, you know, combine all the units together. You could have a mix of different armors. It would look okay, I think. Yeah, the get started box for Deathwatch is really good value as well. You get that Dreadnought, that's going to be good use. Same with the Watch Captain. You can convert one Artemis with a Guardian Spear, get a Custodian Spear, put that in his hand. So then you've got a Watchmaster who looks like he's on a real cool running pose. You could, you know, change the head on another one, because I actually bought 3 of the get started boxes. That got me 30 veterans. A unit of bikes I bought, because you only need 3, so just buy the 3-man unit of bikes. You get loads of upgrade bits and bobs. So yeah, I mean, the kit's fantastic. So yeah, definitely check that out. Toby, I'll put a link to the app you need to download in the mentorship group, so you can go and link up in the chat to things. Yeah, so here is the Space Wolf army list. I'll just pop that in the chat now. And then I will find the link to the mentorship course. I'll pop that in the chat also for you. Once you have signed up, it doesn't take anything out of your account for 14 days. And basically, you know, if you like the program, fantastic, you stay on there. So yeah, you can check that out now. I've put both the links in that you need. Any thoughts on Deathwing, especially with the 4++ and 5++ from Azrael and Ancient Relic? So Deathwing will actually get a 3++, because obviously they've got the Storm Shields. So really nice. And then you get the models within 6 inches, get that 5++. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. So a big unit of, like, when you take a unit of Deathwing, you want at least 8 to 10, okay? 8 to 10 is certainly the way forward, because you need enough models to move backwards and get any wraps off as well. 5 models is not enough, so you need to be running a big 10-man unit of Deathwing ideally, and then or maybe 9. So I covered this question the other day. What are your thoughts? What are your hopes for Necrons when they finally get their Psychic Awakening, which looks like is going to be the last now of Holoquins and whatever is else? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at the Necron book in a while, so I don't, and I also don't like to guess what's coming either, because then if I don't get it, I might be bitterly disappointed. But how good does that new Lionel model look? I think he's a 30k model, but I really hope they bring out 40k rules for him. I'd love to see some more 40k Primarchs knocking about. Can you imagine Sanguinius in a plastic sculpt? Just, you know, it's what dreams are made for. It's what dreams are made for in my life, for my Blood Angels. Anyway, so what other questions we got? My Elandon list has 2x10 Rafe Blades with 3 wounds each. Andrew Facey. So Rafe Blades are my favorite Eldar unit. Now, with Rafe Blades, unit of 10, correct. Also, you want to take a custom craft world, and you want to go for +1 to charge and +1 attack when you're within range of an objective. And you want to go for Rafe Blades with swords and axes. That's what you want. And these guys are the nuts. They really are. They're crazy good. And you need a warlock to give them protect. So they've got a 3+ invulnerable save. Okay, not a 4+. You then give them that also gives them a 2+ save. They also then you can cast another power on them to get +2 charge. So when they come in from deep strike, they get +3 to their charge. Brilliant. And then you can also give them Empower, +1 to hit. So then you can play the stratagem, exploding 6s. And on the charge, they get 2 base, I believe, +1 for charging, +1 for being near an objective, which is quite easy to do now, especially if you're very accurate of where you're going to come down. 4 attacks each, charge 2 units, kill the back unit, wrap the first unit. Game, set, and match. Literally. Oh, and you put Fortune on them, so they got a 5+, feel no pain as well. And you do that turn 2, you rinse, repeat, and you do the same turn 3. Then I appreciate it's only 3 games, but this was pre-chapter approved before they had their points reductions, and this was the height of the Imperial Fist and Iron Hands meta before their sort of nerf, or before the big FAQ. Going second against a shooting-centric meta army as a Blood Angels is crushing me, especially against opponents who know how to screen. Top 2 or 3 tips to remember going second. I'm happy to lose a unit of Sanguinary Guard and a couple of units of Scouts going second. That's what I'm like. That's my acceptable casualties, but I deploy everything on the board. If you're going second, you have to deploy every single unit on the board as a Blood Angel player. If you're putting things in deep strike, they're just going to zone you out and you're never going to claw back the game. If you put everything down on the board, you threat saturate and you'll just ultimately overpower them, wrap and trap every unit. I need to put that video up. I keep saying it, but I really need to put the video up on how to wrap and trap. That will be going up. I'll try and do that after this, actually. I'll get that done after this. I'll film the intro and get it on YouTube, ready for tomorrow, on the course. So it'll give you a really good idea of kind of how the mentorship program runs with some of the most advanced tactics in the game that have literally been winning me events. So yeah, Sam Hill, good to see you've joined up. Fantastic, mate. Absolutely fantastic. Good to have you back. Matthew Chin, for Death Company squads in Blood Angels, how many units do you have with the Thunder Hammers? 4 minimum. I run 5 at the moment because I don't have a Smash Captain, but yeah, 5 is what I go for. Any tips for Orcs versus Blood Angels? I'm new to 40k battling and my army just gets demolished before I can get into melee. Orcs really struggle against Blood Angels because the Blood Angels and I think the most competitive build is probably my list at the moment, or something very similar. You just can't get through the 2+ save. So anything you need some extra weapons in there that are -3, -4 weapons minimum, and ideally 3 damage. That's what you need. That is what you need. And then anything where you can bring a bit of armor to the list will help you. So maybe some Death Dreads, some Killer Cans, threat saturate with those. Plenty of boys on the table as well, just for a bit of a, volume of attacks against the Death Company and Scouts and things. And actually that could swing the other way. So Orcs have definitely got a good chance played in the right hands. Sanguinius is dead, mate. The big E killed him when Horus turned him on the Bridge of Vengeance. I know. Hang on. Turned him. He didn't turn him. He's a good guy through and through. All right. I won't be having any of that rubbish. We need another Chaos Primarch. No, you've already got 2. So let's have a look at this. Chaos Primarchs, 2. Imperium, 1. Imperium need another one. So there's 2. Then you can have another one. You can have 3. We'll get a 3rd then. Patience, Oh, we don't need a soup. Yeah, agreed. We don't need another Chaos one. Yeah. Sorry, I actually read your comment properly then. Sorry. Full apologies. If you make a Phobos captain a chapter master, would your Phobos units get benefit from him as a chapter master through the Vox ability or not? I'm not sure, but regardless, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. The Phobos units are not there to shoot. They're not really there to do much damage. They're there to claim the board, be annoying, screen people out, be an early board pressure threat. So they're not really there to get the benefits from the chapter master, but I'm not sure. I'm surprised they didn't make Gazgul a prime orc. Yeah, I'll see what you've done there. Yeah. How would you rank the Chaos armies in the current meta? Yeah, I mean I think I think Khorne Berserkers are really, really underrated. I really like Iron Warriors. I think they've got some really good play. They've got some great stratagems, great units, great buffing abilities. So Iron Warriors, Khorne Berserkers from Alpha Legion, there's definitely some good stuff there. In the right hands, they could really do some work. So yeah. What do I think about Flesh Terrors? Not for me, because you don't get to use the Sanguinor. If you did, if they made the Sanguinor, Ashtrath, and Lamartes, like how they've done with Gazgul, where you could take him in any Blood Angel faction, I think that's fine. But you need those characters. They literally hold the whole thing together. So yeah. Matt Clements, are you going to take the Battle Sanctum with your sisters? Can you see it? Can you see it back there? Look at all my winged angels, just silhouetted in the back like that. Let's see if we can zoom in. Start of the sisters. It's a lot of models, a lot of combat. There we have it. Look. Oh, come this way. And my camera seems to be dying, so I need to adjust that. Is he charging up now? Hopefully. Yeah, cool. We're charging. Oh, so am I going to take the Battle Sanctum? This is my plea to GW. Okay. GW, I'd really like it so that special fortifications. So, for example, the Battle Sanctum that has the Sister of Battle or Adeptus Sororitas keyword. I would really like it if it was 0 to 1 choice of the Battle Sanctum. So you could only take one in an army. But when you're taking that fortification in a Battle Forged detachment, they don't take up any slot. I'd really like to see that. Okay, so you can take one fortification. So if you think about it, Orcs have got their mech shop. That'd be great to see them take if they're running a battalion or something, a whole Battle Forged army. And if they're come under the rule of if their entire army is Battle Forged. So it gives a little bit of a buff to mono factions, because when you have to take a fortification and you have to drop a detachment, it kills you too much. So that's what I'd really like to see. So yeah, Orcs have got their mech shop, Eldar have got their, and Harlequins have got the warp gate. I'm not sure if Dark Eldar get access to that. I don't know, but probably. Same with Yannari. I'd love to see those all get access to that warp gate for free. What else is there? That Chaos Gate. Great to see if you took all Chaos Space Marines, they would get access to that. Orcs have got theirs. I said that already. Tau have got a few. That'll be good. Yeah. Again, it just sort of buffs up the armies, the mono factions army that have these really cool fortifications. Like, how beautiful is that model back there? That huge angel, but I can't drop a detachment. It's just I need the CPs. So what else have we got here? Meta or two behind, or do you think Admech won't be like a Tau finally? I think AdMech are pretty good. Like, they've got some really good answers to a lot of the current meta builds at the moment. Having some flying units would just have, stop them getting wrapped in traps so much. So literally, as a sort of counter unit, I think an early board presence would be really, really useful. So I think it's fantastic to see that. And the models look wicked as well. Like, I love the ones on like horses. They look amazing. So I really like those. I know they don't fly, but they just look cool. Like, some of my favorite models are the Gene Stealer cult guys on the bikes, the Acolyte Jackals. They look cool. Acolyte Jackals, Atalan Jackals, something like that. Again, me and reading, guys, we're not great together. Okay, it's not that I've got anything against reading, but I think reading's got something against me. Just doesn't like me very much. What are your take on AdMech? Oh, so again, see, repeating questions now. Are all your sisters Bloody Rose or a combination? They are, at the moment, all Bloody Rose, but I'm tempted to run a mixed detachment. Sorry, yeah, I've got 2 detachments of Bloody Rose and then another detachment with all my mortifiers in. All the mortifiers will be Bloody Rose keyword. No, they won't, because they won't even get it. So they won't actually have a keyword anyway. But then I'll take 1 Ebon Canoness, so that I can give them the Warlord trait to get the D3 extra command points and the auto 6, miracle dice. So it's really strong. Right, okay. So, guys, I mean, I've been going for half an hour, so yeah, I think I'll leave that here today. So, guys, yeah, check out the list below. Let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. We'll answer people's questions tomorrow. I need to get this video done for you guys, so I'm gonna head off now. And then, please, if I haven't answered your questions, then I'd love you to come back tomorrow, and I'll get those answered. All right. So when you comment tomorrow, if I didn't answer your question today, please flag it up saying you didn't answer this yesterday. Then put your question in. That'd be great for me, just so I can make sure that I'm answering everyone's questions at some point. Obviously, there are so many, and I do jabber on a bit. I do apologize. But anyway, guys, hope you're keeping safe and sound out there. Reach out if you're feeling isolated. And see you guys soon. I think I'm doing a recording with the guys over on D6 Evolution about Blood Angels, so I think we can do an interview with them. Also had a good chat with Scary. We're going to do some things together as well in the coming future. I'm going to go on his channel, he'll come on mine, so we'll do some nice little collaboration. So loads of cool stuff coming up for you. And another special guest that's going to be going live in my mentorship group, who's an absolute legend, and I mean absolute legend when it comes to painting. So the guys on my course, he's on board. We just need to get a date together, and not like a physical date. Obviously, we can't meet up, but a date in a diary. Anyway, cool, guys. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock.